there, welcome to our first Paragon vlog. My name is Gina DeRose.
And I'm PJ Kinsella.
Thanks for joining us. So our topic today is going to be how to deliver the perfect media interview. So whether this is an in-person briefing, a phone briefing, a broadcast interview, these are our top 4 tips. So the first one is going to be messaging. What points do you want to deliver to your audience? Have those messages in mind before you enter the interview so you can fire them off to the journalist and they'll get across right to your audience.
The second point that we want to make is being able to bridge the interview sometimes. So a lot of times what happens, especially in an interview where you may not have as much time, is you're asked a question that you may not necessarily want to answer, especially if it's on the record. So say you have Q2 earnings coming up, for instance, and they say, can you give us a preview of your Q2 earnings? Well, we can't talk about that right now. The earnings are going to be coming out next week, but in the meantime, what we can tell you is that the industry has grown by 20% over the last quarter. Just an example, but a very important facet of the interview that you want to keep in mind.
Yes, and another tip in terms of managing the conversation is to pay attention to your surroundings. If you're in person with the journalist and you see they're writing things down, that means they're interested. If they put their pen down, or if you're on a phone briefing and you feel like you're taking up a lot of dead space, or there's even dead air, it's a good opportunity to ask the journalist, is this something you're interested in? Or would you like to hear more about X, Y, or Z? That way you're checking in, you're making sure you're maintaining your relevance to the reporter, and you might even bring up a topic they don't know about and would like to hear more about.
And the fourth and final tip that we'd like to offer is speaking in sound bites. So this is particularly important for broadcast interviews where you may only have about 3 or 4 minutes, sometimes even less than that, is not being too superfluous in what you're saying, ensuring that you get those key points across. And again, going back to Gina's first point with the messaging, knowing those points and ensuring you get those across. And if you do that, everything should go pretty well.
So just to recap, and a side note, something you should do at the end of your media interviews is provide a recap. If the journalist asks, or just as an add-on, to provide your top 4 key messages, that way they're at top of the mind for the journalist. But our 4 messages for this vlog are to make sure you have your messaging in place, to be able to bridge the conversation, to be aware of your surroundings, and to speak in sound bites.
So this has been our first ever Paragon vlog. Thanks for joining us. We're all very excited to have you. If you want to see more, you can visit us at paragonpr.com, or you can catch us on Twitter at Paragon Alert. This has been PJ Kinsella.
And I'm Gina DeRose.
Thanks for being with us.